Building in the comments. Vol.2, building in the comments. So I want to answer some more questions for Dark Triad 715. The first one, I want to answer them too in these bundles the way they're presented. So the first question was, is there such thing as fate? And why do people with deep hearts and minds suffer the most? So fate, is there a such thing as fate? Yes and no. We have free will to choose whatever we choose, but ultimately, how we arrive where we arrive, we can neither prove nor disprove the determinism of it. We can't say I was always going to end up in this place, because if we do that, for example, let's say, hey man, I always knew I was going to get rich one day no matter what, and I'm finally rich. I knew this was going to happen. If that would be looked at like fate. That's a very fate based statement, because you're saying that it's deterministic. That's what fate is, to say that there's no change. Now, you notice how in that regard, fate is very similar sounding to faith, right? The only difference is a H at the end. So fate itself, the idea of it, is really tied into faith. Truth be told, on higher levels, you can, probably feel the validity of that when, as we ponder it. And I'm glad you asked that, because I never really looked at fate that way before you asked that. I would usually intertwine it with ideas like destiny and so forth. So is fate real? Yes, when you apply faith to it. So your faith becomes your fate. Or if you don't have any faith, then someone else's faith for what they have for you can ultimately be your fate too, because they're using faith when they even traverse the idea of fate. People with deep hearts and deep minds suffer the most because they're empathic. They can feel everything the most. But also people with deep hearts and minds, they also enjoy the most also. So it's not broken off. It's a full scale. So if a person who's deeply empathic, which is to say feel deeply in the heart and mind and psychic and, in tuned, they're going to feel both ranges. They'll feel the deepest joy for the simplest things, just as much as they could suffer for the simplest things. But an act of the free will can intercept that, where you don't experience the suffering as deeply. If it hurts you, it'll be enough for you to know what the particular sufferings are in mind, and you won't have to slip back into the frequency of that experience with a lengthened pondering. No, it'll just be a flash from the past. You know what I mean? Next question. Why is the world cruel to the kind and the manipulative? It's because kind and manipulative people are seen as innocent. Innocent as seen as one that you can take advantage of. And that's what people tend to do when they're in different levels of desperation. So in this 3D experience, anyone can slip into desperation. So, you multiply that by 9 billion, however many of us it is, you know what I mean? Like, something can cause, or there's a possibility for each and every one of us to be cruel and manipulative. But the ones who are going to be the closest targets to that are usually going to be the kind. Now, eventually, if one keeps up being cruel and manipulative, period, it will lead them into circles where evil is. You know how like attracts like, law of attraction, manifestation. It's all working the same way. This is just a scenario that it applies to. So they'll do that because they see them as easy. Some animals even do this. They'll go for the weaker gazelle, the one who's at the back of the pack, the straggler. So just like animals, humans being a different kind of animal, do the same thing. So and then evil people are, or evil people are in charge. They rule over things. What gives them their power comes from this very magnanimous law. Like, remember, it's these universal laws they don't always have things to do with whether you deserve it or justice. Certain things like karma go out the window when you're really intensely believing in something, because remember, now your faith is your fate. So even in the face of like certain what we would call certainties, like you're saying here in the karmic system, evil, what we would call evil people, they're still using certain rules that work regardless of if you're good or bad. Universal laws. So they're practicing those things. You can stay on top, good or bad. We can prove this because otherwise history and everything like that would have been different. We would have seen whoever the most humble is always being put into the position of power. We would see that if that's the case, but that's not the case. And so a question like that will point that out. Yes, there's karma, karmic system. People are saying it's a satanic system or a tool, saying that we have to come back to learn lessons. So karma, in terms of going back into the reincarnation trap, there is a definition of karma that is very deterministic. And I don't say you may not want to subscribe to that one, because that ties into fate again. That part of karma is tied into fate. Like, this is what you're going to get regardless of what. You can't shake it. It's deterministic, it's nihilistic. That is not what we mean by karma. We mean a day-to-day working karma. And we're really going under the tone of you just reaping what you sow and you attracting what you put out. You getting back what you put out. Potentially any and everyone kind of believes that to an extent. You get out of it what you put into life. This is saying the same thing as law of attraction, manifestation, law of polarity, law of correspondence, law of assumption. You get out of it what you put into it. It's saying the same things, all of those things. It just is different wording depending on the way the question is asked. So it can be a trap, learning lessons, but to use that to your advantage, just look at it like every day you went to sleep. We had no control of our breathing, heartbeat. We were just as good as dead. We could have been dead and came back. And now that we're awake, we can learn the lessons that we are still working on learning from yesterday. So that's karma enough. You know what I mean? If the average one of us has probably been alive for over 1,000 days, a couple of thousand days, you know what I mean? And that's enough to have a karmic styled experience when you're looking at life like, I want to learn the lessons from the past so I don't get caught in the loop. That's reincarnation and karma enough that I think that we could prove and kind of live and move through. And there's some more questions here, and I will go ahead and put that in volume 3 for you in just a moment. Super T Sigma Programming, volume 3 to Building in the Comments, coming soon. Shout out to Dark Triad 715. You already know. Peace.